The nation is on the verge of a full-blown power crisis, a concern that should have been a thing of the past. Time is of the essence as electricity supply can barely catch up with fast-rising demand. Solutions are forthcoming, but consumers in the meantime have to bear years of neglect on investing in new power plants. Solar News' editorial desk manager Cris Paraso goes in-depth in this report.
Residents of Mindanao faced the inevitable last February 27. Most of the island was without electricity after a technical glitch forced a baseload coal-fired power plant to shut down. The outage had a domino effect on the whole grid after an aging government-owned hydroelectric power plant failed as a backup facility.
Mindanao's power woes are a throwback of sorts, as these were supposed to have been resolved under the Electric Power Industry Reform Act that took effect more than a decade ago. The EPIRA removed state monopoly over the power sector and offered it to private groups who can choose to invest in any of the three types of businesses: generation, or the production of electricity; transmission, or the delivery of power through what is called the grid; and distribution, or the supply of power directly to consumers.
At the heart of the industry is power generation. Data from the U.S. Environmental Information Agency show hydroelectric power may come cheap for Mindanao consumers, with an estimated generation cost of 3 pesos 90 centavos per kilowatt hour. But water from dams that run the power plants is a dwindling resource thanks to climate change. There is also the law on diminishing returns. The government's hydroelectric plants in Bukidnon and Lanao supply most of the island's requirements, but these need frequent maintenance shutdowns due to their deteriorating condition, resulting in rotational blackouts. The Visayas is in a better position as it has excess supply, while the generation cost for geothermal energy, a renewable resource, is slightly lower at 3 pesos 85 centavos per kilowatt hour. Further, the central region benefits from its interconnection to the Luzon grid, a system that Mindanao has yet to enjoy. Meantime, the Luzon grid is increasingly using natural gas from the Malampaya facility off Palawan that costs only 2 pesos 90 centavos per kilowatt hour to produce. Coal is still the island's principal power source though, and is more expensive to generate at 4 pesos 30 centavos per kilowatt hour.
As a stopgap measure, the government sources some supply from diesel-powered plants, but at a cost to consumers, 13 pesos to 20 pesos per kilowatt hour to produce. According to the National Statistical Coordination Board, power distributors maintain several sources to ensure steady supply. Natural gas and geothermal energy cost less and are renewable. Coal and diesel are dependent on supply deliveries, and prices fluctuate in the market, while water, though cheap, may at times run out. Moving forward, the Department of Energy is expecting a stable supply situation within the next 2 to 3 years, with a scheduled operation of new power plants.
For the meantime though, consumers will have to bear with possible power interruptions, especially for those residing in Mindanao, as demand continues to eclipse supply. The costs will be steep during the adjustment period as authorities race against time to prevent another crisis that would plunge parts of the country into darkness.